what's up? My bad, guys. I'm already sharing. Get that out of here. Get that shit out of here, man. But you guys get in here. What's up? It's your boy Tushka. It's Josh. We're missing Soul again. Thoughts and prayers to Soul. She's on vacation, enjoying amazing, beautiful weather. And have you blocked her yet? That way she stops sending you like amazing photos of where she's at.
No, it's gotten warmer here.
Okay. No, that's good. That's good. It's a little bit warmer here too in Oklahoma, but hopefully it's warm where you guys are. Hopefully you all are safe. Hopefully you had a good sports weekend. I know I have. I had a good sports weekend.
I'm been dead inside for 30 years at this point.
Yeah. But I mean, there's some news in football we'll get to, but yeah. Now, welcome everybody. This is REV Wrap It Up. More sports. And yeah, man. I mean, we're excited to basically just wrap up the entire week of sports, bring it to you by each category. We got Hug a Chug football. We're going to talk about. We've got basketball. Got a little bit of soccer, some hockey. I'm excited about that too because all that's starting to heat up as the rest of us are. But we're going to go ahead and jump into Hug It, Chuck It. Football! There we go. And I'll try to remember to sing along with you on the basketball one. But yeah. So off the top, man. I mean, NFC matchup was really an impressive game. I mean, the Commanders they ended up falling to the Eagles 55-23. And I mean, it was definitely just one sided the whole time, but. I mean, I'm still been impressed with the Commanders and what they've been able to do this year, as well as in this postseason. Jaden Daniels is him. So excited for that franchise. We'll see if they're going to be able to hold on to Kingsbury in the offseason. We still got the Saints and some other teams looking for some coaches. Been a lot of movement going on. So from all of the cannon fodder, so to say, as far as with the coach carousel that we're currently in right now. Josh, which ones have kind of stood out to you?
Well, Detroit no longer has their coordinators. Now, Brian Johnson went to the Bears. He was like the hottest. People thought he was going to get a job last year. He comes back, wants to make one more run, and it just so then he took the Bears job, and then Ben Johnson and some. I think it's the right hire. We'll just see if he overthinks it. Because I mean, like a Brandon Staley, where he just overthinks everything and goes for it on like 4th and 7 on his own 20 with like in the second quarter. And you're like, what are you doing? Just kind of overthinks it that way. Because I mean, Dan Campbell, he's kind of like that. But then again, it worked. So it just is he going to be overzealous with him going forward on 4th down? Aaron Glenn goes to the Jets. He was the defense coordinator for Detroit. So as long as the owner's son doesn't step in and talk to him about Madden and what they're saying on Twitter, I think I think they should be okay. But the fact that it's still the Jets, I'll have to wait and see on how that is, because I think you could take any coach there, and I think somehow or another you can put like the greatest coach of all time. Put them on the Jets, and they'd still somehow manage to only be like 500 on the year. I was saying 8-8, but yeah, 500 on the year, just because of how the Jets are and that organization. Speaking about bad organizations, the Cowboys hired Brian Schottenheimer, the son of
Monty
Python.
Monty Python. Marty Ball, man. Marty Schottenheimer.
Marty Schottenheimer.
Of Chiefs fame, as well as Chargers, tail end of the season.
Yeah, but yeah, Brian, he was mainly known for being the offensive coordinator under Pete Carroll when at Seattle. But the thing was pretty vanilla offense. That being said, might as well. Jerry Jones is coming out saying a bunch of gibberish. And then when this hire happened, I was like, nothing to like pops off the page or anything, but sometimes boring sometimes wins, I guess. So as long as that defense is a lot better, because that defense was just underwhelming this past year, and then Dak went out, so we shall see. As long as Dallas gets Ashton Genty as far as the draft, at least it'll cause excitement to see. I don't know if you should really spend up to get him as far as a running back, but as far as just headlines go, I'll take it. And as far as a premier back, at least what I saw at Boise State, I would take that too. And then the Saints still without a coach. They are looking at Kellen Moore. That was the last rumor mill. That's what they're targeting. Obviously, he's offense coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, so he has a little bit more stuff to prepare for than figuring out if he wants to take the Saints job. That's an organization that's fine, I think. That's a good organization to go to, but we shall see.
Yeah, the pieces are there for the Saints to actually do pretty well. At least somewhere near 500 above it. Same with the Cowboys, though. I mean, I feel like with Schottenheimer, it's not sexy, but it's also not McCarthy. So hopefully we'll see something there. But Schottenheimer is known to pass instead of run the ball. Apparently, I believe he was the coordinator at that point. So he gets a little bit of flack for that. For those that don't know, I can't remember which Super Bowl it was, but it was with the Patriots, the Seahawks and the Patriots. And instead of running with the beast himself, they chose to pass, and it ended up getting intercepted, and that was game over.
Butler.
Butler. The guy we didn't know before, and a lot of people forget about afterwards.
Yep. And they got back Super Bowl again next year, and he set Butler the whole game because of missing a meeting or something. Then he goes to the Titans, and he ends up retiring.
Probably like missing some of the media meetings, or because I mean, that's whenever they were getting mad at quite a bit of people that had to show up for interviews, and then of course the famous "I'm just here so I don't get fined."
Right.
Next question.
Yeah.
But we're going to go jump back to not the next question, but jump back to the first topic, talking about the Eagles and the Commanders. So, they kind of, worked us into that coach carousel there. Back to the game. Saquon Barkley, first touch, 60-yard touchdown. Second touch, 4-yard touchdown. And it was just really, by the time halftime hit, we knew what the game was going to be.
Right.
It was just a formality of finishing out the play clock in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. But I mean, for Commander fans, they've got to hold their head high. I mean, they overperformed as far as what they were expected to. So that's got to be exciting for them. They know what pieces they have that are keystone pieces to lock in. They got Jaden Daniels another few years on his rookie contract, so that's going to save quite a bit of money to where they can really be aggressive over the next few years. And hopefully maybe they find some more people there in the draft that'll help them out in that effort and keep it cheap. But the Eagles do move on to the superb Al, and they're going to be meeting the enemy of the entire league, the Empire themselves, the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Chiefs versus Bills game, ended 32-29. So the Chiefs, for the first time this year, scored more than 30 points.
Yeah.
And it was exactly what they needed to be able to win that game, with the Bills only scoring 29. Some questionable calls.
What? In a Chiefs game?
Yeah. There's questionable calls in every fucking game, ladies and gentlemen. Every game. You scrutinize, you put things under a microscope, you're going to be able to find something. So it's just officiating. It's humans officiating. And I mean, if the Chiefs lost, then, people would still complain. Like, oh, well, the refs tried to get him to win. And it's like, nope, the refs just made some mistakes. They made some good calls and made some bad calls. That's how it always is. And it is not biased in that regard. With the worthy completion, it did hit the ground. I thought it should have been incomplete at the very least. But but a lot of people were complaining because they gave it to Worthy and not the Bills defender. But the tie always goes to the runner. This being the offense.
It's not as bad as that. If you want to think, I get that part. because if you really want to think of an egregious time where they called when they called the touchdown when it was an interception was when what made us get back our referees when they were on strike, and it was the Green Bay, or what they called the Fail Mary. For those kids at home that don't know, it was the Seattle Green Bay Monday night game, and Russell throws a Hail Mary, and the Golden Tate, and I forget Williams, I believe, is the corner. Yeah. He catches the ball. Golden Tate is behind him, directly behind him, and just wraps his arms around him and just touches the ball. And Williams has it, already caught it. Williams has it, and then Tate goes around his back, and they call it a touchdown. It's there's no tie. He already had established that he had the touchdown. He had the interception. And then they reviewed it, and they still, because one referee is coming in waving his hand saying it's a touchback, and the other one is calling a touchdown. It was the most inept. You thought the Chiefs were, the Chiefs had the referees in their pocket. This is bullcrap. Go watch that and tell me how bad this refereeing was compared to that. And they still should be full time.
Yeah, it was bad, in a great way. And well, crap! It didn't let me save that image. I was gonna save it, but I guess we'll just have to show it then. Hold on a second. Let me get this at full screen. It's gonna be a little bit blurry, unfortunately, but bow. There we go.
Yeah.
I mean, in one shot, you've got one calling it off as incomplete, the other one calling it a touchdown. And that's kind of what we had. I mean, you had indiscrepancies, or you had conflicting calls between the refs in this one as well. And I mean, it just opens up for speculation, tinfoil hat theories, everything of the like. I was proof that it's rigged because of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. It's do they want to leverage that as much as possible? Yes, but I mean, if it's something that they're hell bent on in fixing games and rigging games so that works out, no. They want Taylor Swift to be there, but at the same time, they're still going to get ratings without Taylor Swift being at the fucking game.
But what would Chris Collinsworth talk about if the Chiefs aren't there?
Oh my gosh. I apologize. We got a couple videos, but yeah, no. So with the Chiefs game, hats off to the Bills. Just like with the Commanders, a very worthy team. It just unfortunately, luck wasn't on their side, and we talked about it in bracket bitches on Monday, but. To me, the biggest deciding factor was when they had the ball with 3 minutes and 33 seconds left, down by 3. And they had all 3 timeouts, and they did not get the first down, and they did not get any points on that drive. Mm-hmm. And that was no count of the refs. There wasn't a call that made any impact on that drive. So they had the ball in their hands. They had their fate in their hands. And for some reason, Joe Brady went away from the run and decided to basically just try to keep passing it, and didn't work out.
No. James Cook is so good. I don't understand it.
Bro, he was slicing us up that first half.
Yeah.
We kind of tightened it up in the second half, but, he can still pop through.
There's a difference between James Cook's running ability and Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler's running ability. Because, you noticed in the Commanders game, for one, they were behind, so they had to keep throwing the ball. But they were averaging, a half yard a carry. It wasn't going anywhere, and that's credit to the Eagles' defense.
Yep.
But James Cook's gonna get more yards than Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson.
Yeah, and even he's going to get more yards per carry than Ty Johnson, who's on his team.
Yeah,
and that's who they gave the ball to on that last drive. And it's just I don't know. Maybe they thought it would be they were going to be one dimensional, and maybe that's what they expect. So let's do to surprise them. But you still didn't even have James Cook on the fucking field. And if you're going to use him as a decoy or as a threat, you got to have him on the field. So that to me was even him just being off the field, it just narrowed down that vision as far as for Spags of how to attack Josh Allen, and they did attack Josh Allen. But the Chiefs also got attacked on social media. I mean, we'll just watch the thing. Yeah, there we go.
The majestic, magical Mahomo drops back.
Wow.
Looking and fuck! Holy shit! The perfect and sexy Patrick Mahomes was tackled.
You just can't fucking do that.
Lord Mahomes' pet zebras are coming to the rescue.
Oh, thank Mahomes.
Breathing on our Lord and Savior, Patrick Mahomes. Defense number 51. Number 51 is ejected from the game and will be executed live by the new Arrowhead firing squad.
Yes.
Automatic Chiefs first down.
Emperor Mahomo, oh fuck, drops it. Emperor Mahomo gets the ball back.
Wow.
He's scrambling.
So fucking sexy.
Let him go. Don't fucking touch him.
Uh-oh. He's
Don't
still
touch
going.
him.
And holy fucking shit.
Fuck. I'm gonna pass out.
Holy shit, Chris. It looks like we have another attempted homicide.
Hands
It's
to the
just
face.
such bullshit, Mike. Bring out that motherfucking firing squad.
I think Mahomes' pet zebras are very angry.
Attempting a homicide against our Savior, Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Defense number 91 and 39.
Wow.
Fuckheads.
Both players are ejected.
Yep.
Oh
and will be
my.
executed live by the Arrowhead firing squad.
Love it, man. But yeah, I mean, the internet, I mean, they hated the Chiefs before, so they definitely hate the Chiefs now. Well, I mean, as a fan of football, right? I mean, because we want good football, right?
Yeah.
We want highly contested matches. We want things to to be a bare knuckle brawl where everybody's giving everything on the field. What do you think as far as like with the Chiefs? I mean, for you, is it Chiefs fatigue? Are you seeing it where there's heavy favoritism? What say you? I guess in regards to just the Chiefs and the public opinion right now.
So
And hello there.
Hello, Brennan. It's because there's the lack of parity always makes people pissed off. And so when you have the Chiefs literally going to the AFC Championship 7 years in a row, their 5th Super Bowl appearance in 6 years, Philadelphia's 2nd Super Bowl appearance in 3 years, and we're just like, we already saw this 2 years ago. The thing is, we saw the Niners and Chiefs twice already. Now they weren't, I don't think they were two. Yeah, they might have been 2 years apart. But
two
and so it was the same you felt last year because the Lions were almost there, and then the Niners again, they were like, we don't care. And then the Ravens should have beat the Chiefs, and then they the Chiefs and all that, and they just blah. They don't. So it's more of just more of like envy and repetition.
That's my villain.
than that, and yes, the referees, people are gonna get at something. And like we said on Bracket Bitches, it all stems from a year ago in that Buffalo Bills game where they had the Chiefs scored like the go-ahead or game tying touchdown. They call it back because Kadarius Toney lined up offsides. After the game, Patrick Mahomes gets caught on a hot mic to Josh Allen because him and Josh Allen, like you were saying, plays golf and stuff. And he just he gets caught on the hot mic. First thing he says is, that's fucking bullshit. And you know it, bro. That's just dumb. And people are like, you literally get, and so the magnifying glass of Patrick Mahomes getting all the calls, because everyone was just trying to find a reason.
Yeah.
And then the media, especially Chris Collinsworth, just glazing over everything that he does. It just goes against the public perception. But everyone just dislikes the teams that are always there every single year, and it's just an envy thing. It's not because you dislike them. Trust me, as a Cowboys fan, people still hate the Cowboys. And
dude, it's wild how deep that hate runs in the NFC East.
It's just like in general. Like every time I'm like, people are just like, "Oh, the Cowboys! I hate the Cowboys." I'm like, we haven't done anything in 30 years, and people are like, "Yeah, but you all keep bringing up the media," and I'm like, "It's not my fault.
Yeah,
it's not my fault."
Yeah, you have no control over it. I mean, Jerry Jones is a master marketer.
Yes.
I mean, hands down. So that's why we have that.
He bought the team for like $2 million, and they're worth $10 billion now.
Yeah, definitely one of the top franchises commercially. Definitely not record-wise. But the NFC East, absolutely hates them. I mean, so much to where in the Commanders and Eagles game, they were like booing Cowboys, like saying like Dallas sucks chant, everything of that nature. So, okay, yeah, oh yeah, in a Discord hangout, apparently one of the members was saying F the Cowboys.
He's a Giants fan. That's understandable.
Yeah, I mean they should be saying F the Giants as well, because
I say that, but at this point, I just feel bad for them. Like they're so bad right now. I feel pity for the Giants.
But what you shouldn't feel pity for is Saquon Barkley, and we have footage of a Commanders fan paying his respects in his own way.
Saquon Barkley. I swear, Saquon Barkley is the best. Right? We survived the Giants, and now the Eagles got Saquon Barkley. Lord have mercy, man. All to the Eagles, man. All to the Birds.
Saquon, baby.
Saquon Barkley.
I love it, dude. It's like Oshag Hennessy.
Yeah, it's like Saquon Barkley. And at this point, it's just like, don't correct him. Let him just. He's on a roll. Hey, don't worry. It's like, what was it from Animal House? Forget it. He's rolling.
Yeah,
it's like don't correct him. Just let him go.
Exactly.
And that to me, he is the deciding factor compared to 2 years ago.
Oh my God, man. Yeah, I mean they because they've had a good offensive line for the last 3 years. I mean they lost Jason Kelsey, but I mean his replacement is younger and fresher and taller too. I mean even a bigger dude. And I mean with that tush push. I mean, we showed the clips on Bracket Bitches on Monday, but I mean, the Commanders almost had the refs give the Eagles points because of how often they were getting offside and encroachment calls against them, and it was all just because they're trying to jump the gun. They're trying to have that competitive advantage. But yeah, I mean, for the Super Bowl, it's going to be electric. I mean, you're going to have one of the best defensive minds going against probably the best offense this season. I mean, you look in the regular season, you can definitely look towards, the Ravens, with their 1-2 combo. But man, I mean, the Eagles have just been consistent, and Saquon Barkley definitely having the best playoff for any running back in NFL history. And if he was just allowed to maybe have 1 or 2 touches in the final game in the regular season, he might have had the best season for a running back.
As far as rushing yards, but yeah, no. Just that's why I feel pity for the Giants, because of that front office and just the owner sitting there being like, man, I just really would hate it if he goes to the Eagles. And he would just, and then the one guy goes, and then his like other scout was like, so you don't think someone would pay that money for Saquon? And that's where, and then Saquon just with the Eagles and he's just tearing it up.
Yep.
So
yeah, I mean, I would love to have Saquon as a running back.
And they got him for cheap, really, compared to what he's doing. They underpaid for his production that he's doing this year.
Yeah, but he knew the situation he was going into.
Oh yeah,
he knew the Eagles is the best landing spot for him. And it shows. And so not this Sunday, but next Sunday is the Superb Owl. And we're going to be excited to watch that. Maybe Discord hangout. Who knows what's going to happen that day. But yeah, definitely, I'll be watching and drinking and eating along. And I don't know. I may just read some tweets and just bask in the hateness and embrace the villain era, as Soul said earlier. But yeah, any final notes before we jump on to the next segment, bud?
I mean, it's just, I can't wait for next season to be disappointed again with the Cowboys. It's great. It's great. And then Josh Allen and Lamar are going to have really good seasons. Everyone's going to go back and forth about, they should win the MVP or whatever, but the Chiefs keep winning. And then they get to the playoffs and it's like, they're kind of limping in. I don't know. And then they get in. The only thing is I think this is the last ride for Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
That's the only difference between this year and next year.
Yep. Yeah, I think if they get the three-peat, he's gone. If they don't, that's the big question mark. Is he going to stick around for another year?
I still don't think he will, unless he just can't. He just can't quit the game, because you saw it during the regular season. We were saying once it becomes playoff time, Travis is going to show up, but he is going to be up and down this season just because he's a 30 35-year-old tight end who plays tight end. I mean, it's not like it's not like a quarterback who can go out there and doesn't get hit. Like it's still physical no matter how you do it, but to be at the level that he wants to play at, and just depends on, if she goes on tour, and he has to go on tour with her. So,
Yeah. I mean, not a bad gig. Justin Toter says, just counting down the days until it's Saturday for the Rumble, baby.
Yep.
That's right. You guys doing your live stream.
Doing live, baby. Going live.
Yeah. Do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Do it live.
But we're also live, and we're going to keep this train moving to Basket Balls. Sorry, so I don't know what octave you pick. Yeah, we'll work on that one. But in the world of basketball, Josh, what do we got?
We got Jimmy Butler drama. It just keeps ramping up. Your Thunder are winning. Cleveland's winning. Weird. But yeah. So Jimmy Butler, for those who don't know, him and the Heat are not on good terms. And he wants to get traded, but not Memphis. That was weird. That came out, was like, I won't be traded anywhere but Memphis. It's like Memphis, like, what do we do? But the entire Heat team was waiting for Jimmy Butler on the tarmac for several hours, not knowing where he was. And he later told them, I'll meet you there. This is the reason why he was suspended 2 games. Okay. Dwayne Wade commented on the Heat problems in a podcast. So we've got that clip here.
Yeah. You ready for it?
Yep.
Bear. I don't think it'll let me do a full screen. But.
On our organization, you know what I mean? But also at the same time, from a person that's been inside the organization, Iron Fist is that if we're going to be that way, let's be that way. And the stuff that we've been hearing as former players, we don't like it. We didn't get away with that shit. we didn't get away with that. So when I hear something, I'm like, damn. But Pat J. Miley, he back. It's just ugly, man. And so hopefully we get through this, you know what I mean? But like, when I look at the organization, when I look at all the players that's come through, and everyone, a lot of guys have left. A lot of top guys have left because we've run into that guy. We ran into that guy. And when you run into that guy in Miami, you see who wins.
Last laugh.
You see who get the last laugh. Who get the last laugh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pat Riley don't play. We said it countless times on the show, and we talked about it because that is Soul and as far as team wise, that is the team that because of that person you saw right there. I ever since Jordan retired, I've like whatever with the Bulls, and then Dwayne Wade, I saw him come up through college, and I was like, this guy is just different. He goes to the Heat, does what he needs, and then becomes a god there. And I've just liked that Heat culture ever since. And that's where Jimmy stepped in it, because he tried he thought he was bigger than the culture, and he's not bigger than that. So fast forward from the 2-game suspension, then Jimmy got suspended indefinitely after leaving shoot around where he was told he wasn't going to start after his 2-game suspension. Soul's thoughts on this was that he's ruined his legacy. He was the heir apparent to Dwayne Wade, but he has completely ruined his legacy when it comes to him as Miami Heat player. Oh, yeah, for sure. Some people will side with Jimmy because they want to win, but the thing is, you can't have that in your locker room. That's not going to be win. You're not going to win with that. You're just not. Dennis Rodman, he would have his off-the-court stuff, but he still showed up. But there was one time, Phil was like, just take 48 hours, and they had to go get him. If you watch The Last Dance, you'll see.
Sir.
You'll hear about that. But when he showed up, he worked. Jimmy's doing some weird politicking crap, like not going with the team, not doing this, not doing that. Shows up, they tell him, "Oh, by the way, you're not going to start." He just throws a hissy fit and leaves. So it's like you don't make the rules. You just don't. You have the biggest privilege, as far as sports-wise, to play NBA basketball for a living. Of any sport, it's a high privilege because of how much money you get paid to go out there and play a sport for a living. Everyone would do everything they possibly could to be in your position, and you're out here throwing a hissy fit. And I like Jimmy's game. Yeah. But this is not the first offense of Jimmy just getting in Jimmy's way. And it's just sad for as talented as he is. Yeah,
it's definitely disappointing. I'm a Jimmy Butler fan as well. I mean, when we played with the Bulls, and numerous other teams, but it's just like Emo Jimmy was funny,
Yeah.
but this Emo Jimmy, annoying as hell. And you got to believe that with the culture there in Miami, if he would have just kind of went with the flow, or at least did what was expected of him, he probably would have gotten his way. It just would have taken some time and just a little bit more tactful, I guess, engagement with leadership and ownership. But to try to pull this and think that you're swinging the negotiation stick, like, I mean, this was probably not just a good check for Jimmy, but maybe the rest of the league. Of course, it depends on the organization, but it's just like, hey, like, you do not control the team. Like, you are a player, and you are a very key player, and phenomenal talent, and I'm sure they appreciate everything that you're doing for the squad, but you're a piece of the puzzle. You're not the entire thing. And I think that's just maybe he saw what LeBron was able to do with each team that he went to. You also kind of had that with KD a little bit. You had like all these super teams trying to get formed up, and Jimmy was a part of some of those transactions as well. But yeah. I mean, you hate to see it because you want both parties to be successful, and really for everybody to kind of be happy in that situation. But sometimes we let our emotions get the better of us, and we react irrationally, or with our emotions, and that'll get us checked. Yeah. And it's exactly what's going on with Jimmy. And one person that's checking him is Kevin Love, dude.
You can tell someone's at the end of their career, but still just wants to have fun.
Oh my God, dude. I mean, it's great. So anyways, this is Kevin Love, and the first of many, by the way.
A bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. You're all a bunch.
That's Jimmy dining out in Miami.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as the status says on there.
And then the following day.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. The following day. Good Lord. Let me get everything set up. Yeah. Then we got something from.
I do. I'm tired, boss. Tired of being on the road, lonely as a sparrow in the rain. I'm tired of never having me a buddy to be with, to tell me where we's going to, coming from, or why.
R.I.P. Clark Duncan. He should have won the Oscar that year.
Oh my God, man! Right? Such a great 3.5 day movie.
Yeah.
But then it keeps going on, bud. Right? I mean, because then on the 26th, he posted with the caption, "How's Jimmy pulling up on me after the suspension?" With LeBron, Kevin Hart, Kendrick Perkins, and Tristan Thompson laughing in the comments. But here we go. Here is the video.
Fuck off. 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 Well, fuck off. 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 Fuck off.
I mean, there's so many. It's hard to tell where
it's
the
just,
loop was.
there's just like, and when you just like, by the way, anywhere but Memphis, and Pat's like, you think you can make the decisions around here? We've been past that. It's done.
Yeah, and that was the wrong setup because for that one, that was on the 25th, and that was with the caption "Pat's response to anywhere but Memphis." Yeah, I mean, saying fuck off. And then the drama and the videos continue.
Where the fuck you get off talking to people about me behind my back going over my head?
What people?
What people would you think I wasn't gonna find out?
I don't even know what you're talking about, Nick.
No, you said I'm bringing heat on you? I gotta listen to people because of your fucking shit? You're ordering me out? You better get your own fucking army, pal.
I didn't do anything. I mean, I didn't order you or anybody. I only told Andy Stone that you had a lot of heat on you, and that was a problem.
Yeah, just
Yep.
and it's just like right on the nose of like this drama that's going on
Yeah.
because he's the bad guy. That's what they're painting it as. I also find it kind of odd that he's also from Marquette, where Dwayne Wade played, and this is Heat situation. So I don't know.
Oh,
It's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and with that one, that was the one where LeBron James, Kevin Hart, and others were in the chat cracking up with it. Then, oh God, well, this will be the last one. Actually, we got one more because we got the reply.
Motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh? You think you can do this shit? Jay! You think you can do this to me? You motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you. Shoe program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown. I'm the man up in this piece. Oh, you.
I thought it was going to go all the way.
Yeah.
Because King Kong apparently did have shit on him.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't the Russians. Spoiler alert for people who don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so then that was, you had Deion Waiters laughing in the comments on that one. But then finally, Jimmy responded to K-Love with a bit of his own take on the situation.
I'm a Virgo. 6'4". Just so happens that I'm jobless, Tommy. Tell them what the truth is. You're jobless.
Still ain't got no job.
Yeah, lady. You know, it just so happens I got a house need a little cleaning. Right. He ain't got no job. Look here. I am Thomas.
He ain't got no job.
He ain't got no job.
Oh man, Martin, what a great show.
Yeah.
Martin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, any final thoughts on the Jimmy Butler fiasco?
It just will never end. I think maybe the NBA is telling the Pat Riley's like, hey, can you just keep extending this back and forth between you and Jimmy Butler? Because it's a great storyline and we need the attention because we can't just sit here and talk about LeBron James' son for 7 weeks straight. Because we literally in first place is Cleveland and Oklahoma City. Do you think we can really pull in ratings with those markets? Milk this thing, Pat. Milk it.
Also, don't forget to tag us in each of your posts.
Yes.
But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure the Twitters are still going to be hot. Just like Soul, who is a Miami native, says, pissed off Pat, and now Pat is getting petty. Which, I mean, with how old Pat is and what he's done in his career, I mean, yeah, I don't blame him one bit for doing that. But yeah, we go on to some college, man. We go from the pros to college. What's going on down there?
Yeah, so in college basketball, SEC is still king, but the king of the SEC is Auburn right now. They finally got their star player back, Janai Broom. He came back from an ankle injury. They had a dogfight over the weekend with Tennessee, won by 2. And speaking of Tennessee, they ended up going on yesterday and losing at home to Kentucky, who Kentucky on Saturday, prior to, lost to Vandy. So Vandy is on a crazy streak of just what they're doing and accomplishing, at least in this year of sports. Now, obviously, it went 24-25, but as far as, like, if you think about it, Vandy has beaten Tennessee. Vandy has beaten UK in basketball. And then in football, they beat Alabama. So they are coming up with some crazy upsets on some high, especially the blue bloods. So you have Alabama in football. You beat them. You beat UK in basketball. And they were terrible last year under Jerry Stackhouse. And the fact that this coach, he was a former James Madison head coach, and this is his first year. And there's a trend with first-year coaches and doing well at their schools. I mean, Mark Pope at UK is doing a phenomenal job with his team. I think he's got like 8 wins over the top 25 teams or 15 teams, top 15 teams. But then he loses to all unranked teams, so it's kind of weird how that's trending there. And then right 79 miles west is University of Louisville, who just last night capped off their 10th win in a row, sitting second in the ACC right behind Duke. And they are looking very, very good. Pat Kelsey took over a team that went 5-34 in the past 2 years in the ACC, and he's sitting at 9-1, 8-1, something like that. Obviously a 10-game winning streak overall. So what he's doing right now, and he's got Louisville playing even through injuries. We lost 2 key players right at the jump of the season. And other injuries we had, Louisville's had to fight through. I keep saying we because I'm a fan of them. So, yeah, I might show a little bit of bias, but this is also a national story. Go on, Danny, type in Louisville basketball. Everyone is giving props to them. So it's not just me trying to bring light to it. Everyone is talking about it. And it is a blue blood program. But also, too, with this new age of basketball, with the transfer portal, NIL, and how it's done, still good coaches still end up doing well. In the Big East, St. John's. Yes, when the last time we talked about St. John's? They're first with Rick Pitino as their coach. Michigan State, they're sitting atop of the Big Ten, and Tom Izzo. Just because with this new transfer, and it's like, oh, you got to keep recruiting guys and stuff, and you're seeing a lot of the old school coaches, Jay Wright, Mike Krzyzewski, Tony Bennett just retired, Jim Larinaga. We talked about him on this show. He retired midway through the season just because he can't handle the transfer portal and NIL and all that stuff. And so you're thinking, okay, you need to get a younger coach. It's a younger man's game. It's a different game. It's not the game of these tried and true, legends or core coaches could deal with. And Pitino and Izzo were like, no, I'm still good. Whereas I'm thinking Mark Few with Gonzaga is starting to feel the effects. And this might be Mark Few's last year at Gonzaga because they are not doing very well in the Mountain West Conference when they typically can just run through everyone. They lost to Santa Clara, and that typically doesn't happen. Right. It is quite the odd situation. But if you're a fan of basketball and you're not tuning in and at least getting into the drama that is college basketball right now, especially the SEC, that's just game after game is so good. Even South Carolina, who's the bottom of the league, LSU is the bottom of the league. Really, the bottom of the league is John Calipari coached Arkansas team, which is insane. They're probably going to miss the tournament. He leaves Kentucky. He's going to Kentucky, back to Kentucky for the first time since he left there for the Arkansas job this weekend. So that's going to be, must-see TV. And we have Duke Carolina this weekend as well. So I know Carolina is down compared to what their typical Carolina teams are, but it's just excellent basketball that's played by multiple teams, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it.
There you go. You got to look at it. Talking about SEC, top one's Auburn, obviously. Yeah. 19-1 overall. They're on their own winning streak of 12. Then you got Duke right behind. The prestige of that university, 18-2. Then Iowa State, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Houston, Michigan State, Tennessee, Marquette, and Purdue rounds out the top 10. Just outside is Kansas and Kentucky. Kansas Big 12. The Jayhawks, or we have a different name that we called them in person. I won't say it on air. But it's exciting. And right around the corner, we're going to have March Madness. So, this is the time to start catching a lot of the stories that they're going to be the build-up for the tournament. So then that way, whenever you are picking out your brackets, you at least have a little bit of information on what those teams are. Yeah. And I'm sure once we get closer, we'll start kind of breaking them down a little bit more as well.
Yeah. I will leave you with this. I just now realized I forgot to send you this video, so I'll go ahead and share it. This was basically, I hope every week of college basketball is narrated for it. And if you're not excited after watching this video, then college basketball is not for you.
This week on college basketball, we begin in the mountains, where after a monumental victory, last week's giant killers have twice fallen. On the East Coast, a red storm has begun to descend, conjured by an old warlock who knows a thing or two about success. The Huskies emerged victorious in the Battle of the Canines, but fell victim to vicious musketeers, while a locomotive of Boilermakers is picking up steam, looking for a repeat of last year. A tenured warden and his plethora of guards survive the fog in thrilling fashion. A once proud program has spread its wings and glided back into the ranks of the elite. The Tigers remain king, but many unexpected victories have proven you can't afford a night off in the South. The battles have just begun, and the war is far from over. Stay tuned.
Yep, dude, love that. That's good.
Yeah, it just gives me chills, especially if you understand all the mascots and stuff that they were putting. And he was talking about how the Cougars got through the fog. If you don't know, that's when Kansas was up against Houston by like 3 or 4 towards the end of regulation. Houston was able to battle back, ties the game, goes into overtime. Then Kansas up again by 6. Houston battles back, like towards the ending seconds, battles back, goes into double overtime. Then Houston ends up winning in overtime at Kansas. Kansas's arena is called Fog Allen Fieldhouse. So that's why he says through the fog. And then he talked about a bunch of like the Red Storms Brewing because it's the St. John's Red Storm. So that's like just it. Shout out to YT Boy. Please make this for every single week because these are electric.
Yeah, I don't know why they call it the fog, by the way, because it's actually Allen's Fieldhouse, but yeah. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Fog is the first name.
Yeah, Fog Allen Fieldhouse. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they just call it Allen Fieldhouse.
Oh.
But yeah. But I mean, I living there in Kansas City, I didn't hear the fog part of any of that, so that might be more of a recent development as far as some of the nomenclature for it. But
yeah, I just know it's Fog Allen. I've known it's just hard to play it in the fog is what they always say. Is like it's hard to play in the fog.
Yeah,
when you go there.
I do like the There Will Be Blood soundtrack to the video. It's pretty nice.
Hope we don't get copyrighted, but that was too good.
Yeah, nice little touch. Yeah, I don't know. It just sounded like it was from the movie. I don't know if it's actually from it, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but it's okay. We don't got any money anyways, so what are you gonna do? Yeah, I mean, the top 10, we talked about it. And then topping their leagues. Talk about Louisville at the 10 game, but St. John's top of the Big East, and Michigan State's top of the Big 10, and obviously Auburn is the SEC. So a lot of good basketball from the college. We're going to jump back to the pro now, and we're going to go to the WNBA because we do have some trade news. But
your girl, I'll leave it to you because it's your girl. It's your girl. It's no longer an ace.
Yeah, no, she's not. And it was alluded to as Kelsey Plum. There's a 3-way trade between LA Sparks, Seattle Storm, and the Las Vegas Aces. LA gets Kelsey Plum and the number 9 pick in the 2025 draft. The Vegas gets Jewel Lloyd in the 13th pick in the 2025 draft. And then Seattle gets Lee Euro. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, Brad. Who knows? Let me know in the chats how much you hate me. And the 2nd pick in the 2025 draft. You don't see 3-way trades too often. But this one, I mean, just kind of, it looks, just on paper, it looks like a pretty fair trade. What says you, Josh, about the trade? And do you think Kelsey's going to be better in LA?
If Cam Brink is healthy, yeah. Mm-hmm. You have Cam Brink.
Yeah.
You give her a solid point guard with Kelsey Plum. You got something going straight right there. They need all the help they can get. So I understand why they made this trade because even with Cam Brink there, LA was struggling, and then Cam goes out with the ACL, and that's all she wrote. But it wasn't like they were, they were the one to beat. Now, granted, it was early in the season, so there's no telling. Like as we saw with the Indiana Fever, it took a little bit for those young. For that young team to get going and get to the playoffs in the first time, and God knows when. I forget off the top of my head. But I like it for Cam Brink, and it's a good step in the right direction to get them going and start flirting with the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you also got Hamby and Rakia there. It's going to be good. Who knows what the impact will be on the other side as far as for Seattle and then also Vegas. I mean, Jewel Lloyd's no snuff at all.
They have Asia. Like Vegas is fine. Like as much as Kelsey was great there.
Mm-hmm.
They need Kelsey more in LA than the Aces need Kelsey at this point.
Yeah, I'm with you. Just kind of balance out the team, but I mean, at a certain point, you've got to review your talent and see where there's maybe some wasted value. You know, because talking about Asia, you're going to have to, figure out some contract situations here in the near future. So, got to clear up some cap somehow, and that's a good way to do it, especially with that 3-person trade. And other trade news, Phoenix Mercury and the Connecticut Suns, they traded Allison Thomas to Phoenix from Connecticut, and then Natasha Cloud, Rebecca Allen, and a 12th overall pick for Alyssa Thomas, on Connecticut side. Those are names I had to Google for you, bud. What says you?
Alyssa Thomas is a beast, so I understand why they gave up so much just for one player, because Alyssa Thomas is that good. So I understand the trade, but because you've seen it a lot of times where you get everything for one player. That's what helped build the 1990 dynasty of the Dallas Cowboys, because they traded away Herschel Walker for everything that the Vikings gave to them. So there you go. Because the Mercury, DT's is it. So they need another cornerstone. Good to start, because, BG's, as we're getting ready to, she's with the Dream. So they needed Alyssa Thomas. It's basically long story short. They needed Alyssa Thomas.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like I said, joining DT down there should only increase or improve the Mercury. So the 2025 Phoenix Mercury will look much different than they had last decade. Number 1 pick overall, right? Being sent out. So going to be interesting. Usually that favors the team that's trading away the valuable asset. You talked about your Cowboys. You can also look at my Chiefs whenever we got rid of Tyreek Hill. And, a lot of it, people think it's kind of gutting a team. But really, with how fast everything's moving these days in acquisitions and trades and waiver wire and everything of that nature, I think they hopefully Connecticut will be able to rebuild pretty quickly, depending on their GM and, just how savvy they are to what the market values are and understanding exactly what they need there in Connecticut. But in some free agency news, as mentioned, Brittany Griner has signed a 1-year contract with Atlanta Dream and free agency. Also, Courtney Vandersloot is set to go back to Chicago Sky, where she won her first championship on a 1-year contract from the New York Liberty, where she won her second championship, or from the New York Liberty, sorry. So a lot of players are looking at 1-year contracts because the new CBA is going to be negotiated this year, and they don't want to be stuck in long-term contracts, which a smart move. It's definitely going to have quite a bit of a rocky boat aspect, just like the NIL is kind of affecting college world with this one. But once the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement gets signed, then you're going to probably see a lot of money getting shelled out. A lot of people playing it safe and just basically just kind of hedging their bets on that there's going to be a lot more money, as they should, in the WNBA here in the next coming year. But as far as those free agency news, man, anything stick out to you?
The fact that Brittany Griner only signed a 1-year contract is odd, because I think she's got more than just 1 year left in the tank, So that I found odd. I am interested to see how Kelsey plays with Cam, and how that team starts to round out through the draft and everything. Because it's not like, the LA is scraping for draft picks, even though they got the 9th pick, right, in the 2025 draft. So, the weird thing that threw me off is Brittany Griner only doing a 1-year contract. Typically, it's like 2 or 3. So that's just odd.
No, but we just talked about why they're doing the 1-year contract. They don't want to get locked in before that agreement as far as the CBA.
Helps to listen to you sometimes before I make an opinion.
Yeah, sure.
A little bit.
I feel like your ears are as closed as my eyes are. But yeah, no, like you don't want to tie yourself to a 2 or 3 year contract, and all of a sudden this new CBA money comes in from the new television deals, and and the Players Association, kind of breaking that down. You're gonna sign it next year. Like you're gonna keep kicking that can until that thing is agreed to, and then you get the big contract. So I mean, hopefully they can come to terms with that here soon. But yeah, that's the only reason why there's the 1 year.
No, that's what Soul says. So yes, thank you for ruining my take because I didn't listen.
Yeah, or read. I mean, you got the same notes I'm looking at, dude. But we're gonna keep reading on, man. Keep going down this reading rainbow. Monica Wright Rogers, a 2-time WNBA champion, has been hired as the first general manager of the Toronto Tempo, the WNBA expansion team, after serving as the assistant general manager there at Phoenix. So who knows how much she had, her hands on that deal that just happened. But yeah, I mean, you got to like I don't know. I always root for any expansion team. Am I wrong in that?
No.
I mean, whenever Carolina came out, dude, so stoked for it.
I just want the Seattle Supersonics back. You talk about like expansion and all that stuff. The one team, the one organization that I miss out of all the big four sports is the Seattle Supersonics. I grew up, they were a staple of the NBA with Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, Detlef Schrempf. Yes, that's an actual player's name. Look it up. He's from Germany. He was good.
Oh yeah.
Right? He was also he was also randomly on a Parks and Rec episode. So
nice.
But they're for those who don't know, they're the team that I know Tuska's like, I miss them, but I'm glad they moved to Oklahoma City in that regard. But that they literally drafted Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and said peace. And I miss the Seattle, and they've been trying every single time the NBA hints about expanding or moving teams or something. Seattle's brought up, and we just never, ever get them. And yes, thank you, Ryan, who is a local of that state. And not Seattle, the state, but anyway. But how it says like when a team is bad, but they're a staple. And they're just like, it's good to have X back because it just makes the whole league better. Seattle not even existing literally is just a hole that the NBA needs to fill. And the only way you can fill it is with Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, the name was great. I was a huge Sean Kemp fan. Loved Gary Payton as well. But, God, man. Yeah, those guys were electric. Miss it just as much as I do the Hornets. I mean, I know now they're the Charlotte Hornets.
Right.
But, I mean, when it was Alonzo Mourning, and that crew, absolutely loved the Hornets. And so it's good that they came back, but it's just kind of weird for them to be in Carolina after all that. But, yeah, so that is the WNBA news. We also jump to a kind of a rival of the WNBA. It's unrivaled.
Yeah.
So, Josh, what do you got for us as I produce?
All right. And yes. So, Seattle, it does exist. And the WNBA exists there. Literally, Seattle, now that they added the Kraken. Before I go into that, I just want to, with her comment there.
Yeah, good.
Literally, that's the only thing that they're missing of having the core four, much less their like this with their MLS. They have WNBA. I believe, help me out here, Sol. I believe they have a National Women's Soccer League team. I believe they have that. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Seattle Mariners, Seattle Seahawks, the Seattle Kraken in the NHL. They just expanded there. So why are we not have the Seattle Supersonics? I'm sorry. It's just a subject of me and my sports fandom that I really want. So thank you, So yes, they do have that. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
unrivaled. Caleb, and we have a slide for this. Caleb McBride of the Laces is week one's player of the week. Each team plays twice in a week. Some teams got their first wins. The Phantom, they scared the Mist, 74-69. Satu Sabali and BG, Brittany Griner, got 29 points each for the Phantom. Stewie got 27 points, 11 rebound, double-double. No surprise there. The Rose beat the Mist 71-66. Seems to be a trend. Before the game, Chelsea Gray said, "I hate losing," and she pulled up big for her team. Lexi Hull also had a great game. The Laces and the Lunar Owls are both undefeated, 4-0 each. They play each other next week, so we will only have one undefeated team after that game. Nefessa Collier got a 19.17 rebound, a double-double in the Owls 67-57 win against the Vinyl. Boo. And Caleb McBride dropped 31 points, and Tiffany Hayes got a 24.11 rebound, double-double in the Laces 71-61 win against the Rose. Also, Courtney Williams, 5'7", blocks Brittany Griner 6'9". I believe we have that clip because it is at least that.
No, we got the shot. I mean,
we got the shot.
Does it not look like Muggsy Bogues right there?
Yeah. That
Spud Webb.
Spud Webb. I mean? It would be because Spud Webb won the dunk contest, and he was 5'6", 5'7".
Yeah.
Muggsy Bogues was 5'3", 5'4", I believe.
Yeah. I mean, he was a stockier build, but yeah, dude. I mean, I absolutely love it, man. For the shorties, taking care of business, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how big you are. If you suck at mechanics in an untimely shot, you're gonna get blocked. And she got blocked. But yeah, man. So we got some target scores to, I guess, kind of show. Let's go ahead and jump that back.
This is our transition music.
Oh, dude, it's so good. It's the best transition music. Transition. Wow. Transition. Let's go. It looks like a good time, right? I mean,
everyone's having a good time.
I want to go there.
Yeah. Well, someone did. Tune in next week, and she'll give her recap.
Oh my God! Right, all the incredible photos of vacations and unrivaled tournaments, living her best life. But you know who else is living their best life right now is McBuckets, baby. Effortless, man. Effortless. Yeah, you gotta love that, man. I mean, the spin. I don't think she Euro stepped, but just the spin in and in, man. You just gotta love good ball. And Chelsea Gray is no stranger to good ball, man. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah. Jordan S, baby. Are they playing the Utah Jazz right there? Like, what team was that? Okay, yeah. That song will probably get us copyright strike.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, and the last one that we'll show is Alicia Gray getting in the mix, man. Pull it back up. Here we go. Yep. Money. Yeah. I mean, like, that many game winners in the tournament, man.
Right. Well,
I mean, just is that a testament to like how even these matches have been?
Well, it's just the target score with this Unrivaled and stuff. A lot of other leagues are kind of doing it. Is basically at a certain point. I don't know if it's exactly the Elam ending, but once they basically how the teams are competing, the team that is ahead at a certain point in the clock when they're winding it down, they basically at a certain point in the clock they'll say, okay, this team needs to score. The team that's in the lead needs to score this many, or at least hit this target score, based off of where the leading team is. So yeah, at 11. So basically, whoever's in the lead, the first team to whatever their points are. So if it's they're at 70 points, the target score is 81. So whoever team gets to 81 or over first, and there you go. The fourth quarter is untimed. So you always have like they call it in like the basketball tournament that they do every year, the Elam ending. But that is what they are doing there. And some people are like, oh, we should do this for all leagues. I'm like, no.
Right. Yes.
But it is cool.
No. Yeah. Well, because every game ends on a shot. So you just have that excitement of it. I know when we first talked about it a few weeks ago, it's like volleyball. You got to win by 2, or kind of whatever that is. So it's a little bit of like a moving target, but it keeps things competitive. It keeps things fun and light. And then you also don't just have some of these runaway games. It actually kind of keeps it pretty balanced. But I also think that they really did a great job with selecting the teams, and kind of having like some balance in there. So with that, that concludes basketball. I was going to kind of late it, but I'm not going to do that for you. So Novelty X, man, what is going on with those?
The LA Dodgers signed 17-year-old pitcher Joseph Dang, the first player from South Sudan to sign a professional baseball contract. Dang, a 6'7", 185-pound right-hander with a 95 miles per hour fastball, is the second player to be signed from Africa this year, joining infielder Armstrong Mahuzi. I believe I got that one right. From Uganda. If I didn't, please let me know, but I think I got pretty close. Who signed with the Pirates. For those sports fans out there who who think like, dang, why do I recognize that? Yeah, Luau Deng, who actually I think he coached South Sudan, or was put together the South Sudan team that played in the Olympics this past Olympics. I believe that. Please someone check me on that. But Luau Deng, who went to Duke and then played numerous years in the NBA, was very successful, had a very solid career. I don't know if there's any relation to Joseph Deng, but they're both not short. That's for sure. So that's where you get that. The Reds are making some really good moves. They're actually like doing what you're supposed to do as an organization and trying to improve your team. Obviously, with their Terry Francona signing in the offs, signing him as their manager makes me excited, and then seeing who they're getting. It's be interesting to see. But Francona can definitely put the pieces together if you give him at least good enough pieces. So there you go. But yeah, okay. So Dang in Sudan is like Smith here. Okay. So like I said, I figured it wasn't any relation, but just to kind of put something out there as far as Luau Deng, giving Luau Deng a shout out, because that's the first thing that came to mind too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. A little regional context.
Yep.
And that's why we ask the question, folks. So you learn. All right. Try it out. It's not too bad. And if you don't, then quit your kicking and screaming. That's right. We're going on to soccer, baby.
Yeah.
Going to the footies. We got some transfer news to talk about. For those that don't know, January is one of those months that club teams are allowed to buy, sell, loan players. That just sounds terrible. You have the summer transfer window that ends at the end of August and January, in the January transfer window. So with that, we actually do change it. There we go. We have Naomi Girma, I'm guessing, or Girma, joins Chelsea for a record-breaking transfer fee from San Diego Wave for $1.1 million. She follows fellow U.S. women's national team. Easier to say that than the acronym right now. Players Katrina Macario and Mia Fischel.
You nailed it.
At Chelsea. Yeah, love it. At Chelsea. Jenna Nishwanger joins Arsenal from Gotham on a $100,000 transfer fee. That just, I don't know. I feel like that's missing some commas. But it's a whole different ball game there. She joins her fellow women's national team player, Emily Fox. Speaking of Gotham FC, they have announced that they have parted ways with Crystal Dunn after 1 year. Dunn went to Instagram saying, "I can't even find the words to express how incredibly sad I am. Though my journey continues elsewhere, I'm at least grateful to have played at home in front of my friends and family for even a short while. I'll carry these memories with me always." Crystal Dunn is from New York, and that is where her family lives. Other clubs are now free to pick her up. Gotham fans are pissed off at the organization getting rid of a top-notch player.
Yep.
Or letting them go, as well as Lynn Williams, Nishwanger, Crystal, etc. So yeah, I mean, not too exciting there on the women's side, but Josh, your boys, right? Your New York Red Bulls,
yeah,
right, staying in New York, are looking
newly crowned as my favorite MLS team, the New York Red Bulls.
Yeah, newly crowned and cemented in, signing a German international player, Timo Werner. He's currently on loan with Tottenham from RB Leipzig. Don't know what that means. In still loan? Like, the loan is such a weird term.
So,
and what's the interest rate on this trade? What is this?
About 350, Bob.
350.
About 350. No, loan. So basically, it means that Tottenham still owns him, but they don't need him, but they still want him to play. So they kind of come up with like, all right, we'll loan you this for X, Y, and Z. But if we need him back, we will call and be like, all right, we need our loan back. Like they can at any point, really. It just depends on how the loan contract works.
Yeah.
But you can.
And I believe the wording is take backsies.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
I believe that's yep. That take backsies in a court of law holds up. I think that was on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is very
it's
straight.
It's bird law.
It's bird law. Yeah, it's bird law. Or they just take the contract and eat it. That too. But yeah, I know. By the way, that Nurschwanger did not nail it. Don't care. Sounded good to us. But
yeah, if you don't like it, you should have been here yourself. How about the apples, huh?
Yeah, she has a good excuse. She was. Nurschwanger. I can't get over that. The fact that you pronounce it Nurschwanger just reminds me. Like, is that what the skipper tried to call Henry Rowan Gardner? And way to go, Nurschwanger.
Nurschwanger. I mean, if I said it with an accent, maybe then I guess it'd be a little more accepted, maybe by the masses.
Yeah. But no, getting Timo Werner. Obviously, I know so much about Timo, so it's a championship. This is the missing piece that they needed to get win it. Because we got there. We just need to win it. And we now, you know what you do? If you can't get the cup, you call Timo. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Timo is better than Timu. And Ryan says, with the leasing, it helps player gets minutes instead of sitting on the bench. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I really do like that kind of concept of it. It'd be interesting to see that implemented in other sports. Just where it's kind of, you have a little bit on, retainer basically that you can kind of call back. But just with football, I mean, it's so mixed. I mean, you got so many leagues and tournaments and everything of that nature. So it makes sense. She's talking about the pronunciation of Katerina Macario.
Macario? I don't know.
Machario. Yeah. That's what I'm going with. I'm going to go with Machario.
Katerina Macarena. That'd be funny, right?
Yeah, well, that's a Katerina wine mixer right there.
Yeah.
But final news for Kicking and Screaming. Neymar. Old big boy Neymar goes back to Santos in Brazil. Al Hilal in
Neymar
Saudi Arabia.
just flopped again.
Oh, yeah, he just fell over. But no, Saudi Arabia has terminated Neymar's contract. He goes back to the club where he started his career. Fun fact, Neymar only played 3 games in Saudi Arabia before tearing his ACL. So he got over $100 million.
He got that Bobby Bonilla contract of not doing shit and still getting paid.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing you can do better is basically be Chase Daniels. And make about the same amount of money. Just
Alex Moran of NFL quarterbacks.
Ooh, right. I like that. But yeah, man. I mean, any final notes on Kicking, Screaming, some of the news?
I mean, all I got is I'm just hearing the Red Bulls are going to win next year. That's what I got. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, that might be the only good news out of New York in that regard. But we go on to lighting the lamp, man. Checking out, yeah. It's more like that siren. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. The goal siren. But no, I mean, like high sticking news from hockey, right? From the world of hockey. Josh, what do you got for us, man?
The Preds are not last. The Preds are still not last. Nope. That's all I got for the Preds. Yep, I don't know why. But the Chicago Blackhawks still suck, but the Preds suck just not as much.
A little less.
Just not as much. A little less. As far as the standings, Florida Panthers, and of course, Sol's not here to go over the fact that the Florida Panthers are in first place right now in points. They're 1 point over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Still, I know, Sol, just stick with me here. You know how I am. I need the Toronto Maple Leafs to have the best record, win the President's Cup, which goes to the best record in hockey, regular season-wise. I need them to do this so bad so they can lose in the first round. Okay? I just need this to happen. So, Florida, you're going to be fine for the playoffs. You're going to make the playoffs. Just let Toronto win the Atlantic and the rest of the hockey leagues. Let them beat the Boston Bruins record for the best regular season of any NHL hockey, just so they can lose again in the first round. I just want to see those videos of those Toronto Maple Leaf fans. I just want it. Just do it, please.
Tears.
The Hurricanes, which is my pick to win before the season started, that's my pick to win, are a few points back from the Washington Capitals. But the Devils, the Hurricanes, and the Capitals are just kind of all right there. So that's that Metropolitan Division. It's pretty crazy. Speaking about the Jets actually being good, the Winnipeg Jets are still leading the Central with 73 points. The reason we're saying points is because every team, even though if you tie and go to overtime, they still give you points for going to overtime. So that's kind of why it's down to points and not just win-loss records, strictly on that. So that's why we keep saying points instead of that. So the good news is the Nashville Predators are 10 points ahead of the Blackhawks. Shouldn't say much. For those who don't know, the Winnipeg Jets sit atop the Central with 73. Nashville has 43. A lot of catching up to do for that. And the Pacific, Edmonton Oilers are now tied with the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights have kind of been owning that division, but Edmonton has Connor McDavid, who's the best hockey player in the league, who they were runner-ups last year against the Florida Panthers because Florida has Bob, and Bob was a wall. With their goalkeeping there. So that's what I've got. It's going to be interesting to see if Edmonton can make the right moves to finally get the cup, which is the first time since like 97 a Canadian team has won the NHL, won the Stanley Cup, which is always hilarious to me. And your Dallas Stars, not too shabby so far.
Don't forget about them, man.
I know. I was coming out. That's how you transition to your comments and leading into the Dallas Stars.
Is that how it works? Cool.
Yeah. Sometimes I screw it up. Sometimes I'm right on it.
Yeah. No. The Stars. I mean, only chosen because they are geographically the closest NHL team to me. Yeah. I mean, they're in second place right behind the Winnipeg Jets. Actually down a few games, but also a little bit more points. So, you're looking at, 3-game kind of difference, but it turns out to be 8 points. But they're on their winning streak. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and I'm looking forward to it. I need to start watching some of these matches, even though we still got quite a bit. I mean, because we got well into April for the regular season.
Right.
It's actually probably a good time to actually go and maybe catch a game.
Best live sport to watch.
Oh, it's so good, so much fun.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, because they play the Canucks, Friday, so we'll kind of see what it looks like. But really, looking at it, I'm actually trying to shop right now. They play it's at Edmonton. It's at the Jets. Damn it! All right, all the good games are away games. But yeah, I was hoping to see a fight, man. I want to see fights. Is there a fight?
Typically, it's a boxing match and then a hockey game breaks out.
Right.
That whole joke.
Yeah, no, I like it though. If I want to see a fight in the NHL, man, where can I go?
Anywhere.
Okay.
But mainly, you're going to be going to This clip they're going to show you.
What? No. Actually, it says it's. I don't know if that's the clip itself, but yeah, saying Hockey Fight of the Year. It's Ryan Reeves and Matthew Oliver. Okay, it does have it, but I've got this full screen, baby.
This is the first ever matchup between a couple of the super heavyweights, Ryan Reeves.
I love how they have that like
Matthew
stat.
Olivier. Olivier's 10th fight of the year. It's the first for Reeves.
Classic grip.
And Olivier has Reeves
good
on
rebound.
balance, but Ryan
I feel
Reeves
so
gonna
sorry
fight
for those
back.
knees. At least he still has his
What a
time.
tilt this is.
Did he just try to bite him?
I don't know.
Try to gnaw on his shoulder a little bit.
I just like there's
Almost feel
it's
like
a fight, but it's still there's some written rules.
now. This is going
Right? Or unwritten. It's so wild.
There's the instincts of the veteran
wild.
guy. He gets knocked down early.
Officiating is just like, all right, we're letting it happen.
Quickly, he
You know,
just pops right back up.
it's so I don't
So
know.
much being
It's
made, he
it's
hasn't
my
been
favorite
able
part of
to
hockey.
find a
I'm sure a lot of other people.
fighting partner.
But yeah. So that
I'm gonna
great
talk so
fight.
much shit about Toronto, and the next thing you know, my door's gonna open and Reeves is gonna be standing there. I'm just like, I'm fucked. Like I just
Throw the gloves down, man.
yeah. I got some bony elbows. He's gonna feel it, but I'm gonna die.
Yes, dude. Oh my god, man! Talking about like some bony elbows, dude. Oh, dude, I'm ready for that Daredevil show, baby. Let's go. Because he broke some people's elbows in that one. But sorry, that might be a little bit too weird. Because we're going and we're getting even weirder, bro. And this is why we gave you guys a sneak peek earlier. This is the recipe for success. All right, so 1, get a star. 2, get a guy named Jalen. Or maybe two guys named Jalen even. Get a defensive guy. Get a skinny white guy. And then get Derek White. Who doesn't have to be white. Just the name has to be Derek White. No, I love it. I mean, that's such a great comparison. It's not really a Venn diagram, but it works in my heart. It's a great infographic. What say you? I mean, is this the year for Oklahoma City Thunder?
If they get a healthy Chet Holmgren, that's all. They will be there, but this just needs a healthy Chet Holmgren. If they get a healthy Chet Holmgren, I definitely think they have a shot. Cleveland is such an enigma right now because it's like they have a good roster, but they still don't seem to have the roster that would put them in the position that they are, which is great says a lot of good things about their coaching. But Oklahoma City is kind of the same build, except Shea Gilders is, he was up for MVP talks last year. So it's like they have a step above as far as.
I mean, some say he should have won it.
Right. So I would put the leg up that saying that, if they get Chet healthy and SGA still keeps doing what he's doing, and they, like you were saying, and Caruso, that's not Derek White's to the right, Caruso's to the left. But Caruso is a solid player. But the reason they're saying it's Derek White's like, I don't know. What do you think Caruso's like? I don't know. He's like a Derek White. Like that's why you put Derek White down there, much less.
Wait, I thought they were just the same person.
No,
look at it.
It kind of is.
I mean, just one person has a headband, the other one doesn't. That's the only difference I see.
No, and the beards are different. But yeah,
one skin's darker.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I'm so with Cleveland of it. Last year, the Thunder were hot. They were they were kind of the new kid on the block, the youngest team, and they made a decent run in the playoffs. Got there, and I think maybe got to the second round. But I say that for the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's just they've got some maturing to kind of gel together with that. I mean, sometimes kind of get forged by that fire, and sometimes that fire is a loss or just a premature end to your season than you would want. So, but yeah. So that is the weird, baby. I love it. I love getting weird with you, man.
All the time. It's great.
All the time, dude. It's so good. It's literally like my favorite Wednesday pastime. But for that, folks, that wraps it up for us. We appreciate you all joining. Wrap that shit up, B. We're gonna wrap it up, baby. But no, before we play the music out, we're gonna have a little moment of zen for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta get it queued back up again. This one will let me go full screen. Ah, nice.
It's some Christmas miracle.
Oh my god, it did something dumb.
No. We're getting weird and dumb and zens.
Yep. Like, is this scream from the kid? He's like, oh man, I love it, dude.
When Bet You Won't Dunk he goes full send with it. It's like some kids like, Bet You Won't dunk. And he's like, all right. Oh. I just want that freeze frame of the kids. Like, I want his actual facial expression and then the freeze frame of that's when I knew he fucked up.
And that's when he knew. But yeah, unfortunately, rec games, they really don't have a whole lot of camera work. So we appreciate that mom, maybe his mom, for capturing that moment. Also, let us know in the chats. Do you think that was his scream, or maybe one of his crushes scream on the sidelines, worrying about his life? Who knows?
Oh no,
But
Tanner.
let us know in the chats. Also, follow us, like, subscribe, follow this guy at every fucking show that he does. What 25 shows are you doing this week, bud?
Well, tomorrow, myself and Justin Toner are going to be wrapping up the week and getting you ready for the Royal Rumble with Ruckus Wrestling going on at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. We basically break down everything that was the week prior, and then any other news or any nuggets we have. Also, we will be talking about how to announce today that Triple H will be inducted into the WWE Wrestling Hall of Fame, which obviously is long overdue. The Wrestling Hall of Fame is kind of a little different. They kind of make sure typically it used to be like, all right, well, this person's going to headline, and then we're also going to honor other wrestlers. But they want to make sure it's a good lineup, and not just here's the people that are most deserving at this time. So it's not like they pick and choose. But it's
not like he's giving himself his own award.
No. The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels surpassed him, and there's a video of it. And then Stephanie, obviously, his wife, came out and congratulated him. It's Triple H. It's long overdue. Like, he's in with his faction, but he's not in individually. And this one's been like a long, long time coming for Triple H to get in. So he's headlining that. And then we talk about that and kind of going over our favorite things about that. And then, but basically, getting you ready for our live watch along of the Royal Rumble this Saturday. At basically, I think the pre-show starts at 6 or 7, and then the actual starts at 8 on Peacock, the streaming service, what they call a PLE. It's not a pay-per-view anymore. So that'll be live there. I believe it's not going to be on Netflix because I think NBC still has the rights to their PLEs at this point. But we'll be doing that there. And then Mondays, we've been taking a little bit of hiatus because there's no foosball. So there's no brackets to talk about. There's no brackets that are busted because they've already been busted other than Ryan and yours in a sense. So we've got that. So, and then Wednesday, you'll see us back at it. And also leading up to it is the Game Dudes. Me, my 3 other buddies get together and play Divinity Original Sin or any other thing that we decided to play, but mainly Divinity Original Sin. We just entered Act 3 today prior to leading into the show, and we're a gentleman's 80 hours in the game already. That's right.
God bless.
And we're just on Act 3. There's like 5 acts. So, yeah. But it's fun. Come join us over there and tell us how bad we're playing the game on that. And then...
Love it.
And then going into it, starting next month, Soul, we're doing our book club. We got Tuesdays with Maury is what we're reading this week. They already put a poll up on our Discord voting on the next book we're going to be reading next month. So if you'd love to join anything that we just said and please join us over the Discord. We have a lot of fun over there. We typically do a lot of hangouts over the weekends and shoot the breeze and talk about anything and have a good time.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we already got the answer for the book club, but if you want to know it, join the Discord, get in those chats, and join us in the hangouts, man. Like, they get pretty weird, pretty wild.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's always a good time, and just like it's a good time with you, dude.
Thank you.
I mean, Monday, no Wednesday. Shit, maybe I'll show up tomorrow night. Who knows? But
there
we
you go. February 7th. February 7th.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. We'll see you February 7th, but we'll see you tomorrow night for Ruckus Wrestling Live. That's going to be it for us. We're going to see y'all. Take care of each other. See you in the next one. Peace. I think we're going to do some Molly and dance to this.
This isn't base nectar.
Anybody got any glow sticks? Get the glow sticks!